Good morning and welcome back to Mod Pop Thrift. My name is Tom, full-time stay-at-home dad and eBay full-time reseller. 21 to ship on this long weekend, which is not remotely enough. It's enough work to do, I promise, but it's not enough sales. My payout is about half of where I want it to be because I've been focusing on renovating a bathroom and such. So let's just get to work. 20 items today. I wish this glare wasn't here. All right, 20 items. This I picked up out of the 99-cent bin at Goodwill. Sold for $6 plus shipping. These kind of industrial scoops and industrial spatulas do super duper well. Something that's better than you're going to buy for 15 bucks at Walmart with a plastic handle, and generally vintage. These things do really, really well. This is very similar to what they would use at like Stone Cold Creamery, if you've ever been there. It's a like flat scoop. Anyway, I paid $1. It's been around since May 7, so like maybe a month. $6 plus shipping. Pretty easy. The other day you guys saw me pick up this Stuntman Association. I don't know if Enterprise is like from Star Trek or if that's just like a different movie or nothing associated with a movie and it's just the Enterprise, meaning like a business. I have no idea. But I paid $1 for this. I listed it for $9 plus shipping and it sold in a day. Paperboy, another very good NES game. Look at the quality of that sticker with the manual. Sold for $21, free shipping. How about a Dollywood shirt, Screamin' Eagle? It's not vintage, but theme park stuff does reasonably well, and I must have bought this for nothing. It's not Screamin' Eagle, it's Wild Eagle inaugural flight, and so it would have been only available for a certain amount of time after that ride opened at Dollywood, assumably. Anyway, sold for I don't know how long this has been listed. I can look it up, but I wouldn't have paid very much for it at all. January 22nd, so like we're talking about almost 6 months, but it sold for $18 plus shipping. This thing I have had for 2 or 3 months. It is essentially a hearing tester, but it's old enough that like it's got Bakelite handles and it's tube amplified, and it does semi work. So it's a cool thing. Old quackery, old medical stuff, old tube amp stuff. This blonde box is very indicative of the 40s. I paid $2 for this at auction because I think nobody knew what it was, and it was online auction, and I couldn't find anything to base a price on either when I was bidding on it or when I won it. But it sold for $60 plus shipping, buyers all in at $97. And it weighs quite a bit, but it's small enough that I should be able to pack it and not spend $30 on shipping. I forgot to pull that Shakey's hat. Another tiny transformer part. This is like a weapon. Oh, come on now, don't be broke. A weapon that like shoots apart. So it's like I will laser hand you in the face transformer part. I have nothing into it. Sold for $10 free shipping. Couldn't be much easier. This hat I picked up for $1 at the same place that I got the Stuntman hat, but this was a lot earlier in time. So this one's probably been listed for 6 months. Made in the USA. Tagged Land's End. Land's End is not a great brand, but really high quality stuff made in the US. can do pretty well. This clasp doesn't seem to be working super duper well. Genesis manual. We talked about that the other day. Like, people like to complete their stuff. A buddy of mine threw this in with a bunch of stuff that he was that I was buying from him, and so it sold for $10 free shipping. That's for the Sega Genesis Model 2 console, so it's not hugely valuable. I paid $5 for this. It's been listed like 4 or 5 days. I had it for a while. I bought it right before we went to Florida, but then I didn't test it before we went, and then I tested it and listed it the other day, and it sold $30. This is Robbie, one of many robots known as Robbie the Robot. This is from Forbidden Planet, but if any model of this guy is going to probably be worth something because of what he means to sci-fi as a character. This is from 2019, so it's not old. If you find old ones, they only go up in value the older that they get. So at $30, at $5, I knew this was not much of a gamble as long as it worked. Sold for $30. It'll probably cost me $10 to ship, so I'll make 15 on my $5 investment, something like that. This little bitty pin, I bought a whole bunch of pins for $5. It's like I Like Ike, only it's I Like Everybody, so it's kind of a parody, and it's cool. And that sold for $8 free shipping. So I'll only make like $3, but I bought I think I bought 60 pins for $20, and a couple of them sold for $20. And that's just icing on your bread pudding. How about a cut off sleeve Illinois Abate shirt for $7? I got this at auction for $7 plus shipping. It was one of many shirts that I bought in a huge lot. This I got because it was super cool and colorful, and I didn't even know what it was. 2019. It's been listed forever. It sold for $9.99 free shipping. Drag Racing Association of Women, I think, is what that draw means. Something like that. I know the W stands for women, and it's a drag racing association, so I'm assuming it's Drag Racing Association of or for women. Fast help for fast friends on the back. It's a cool 2019 pocket tee racing thing that I wouldn't buy it again because it sold for $10 free shipping, and that is not really worth my time. But once it's listed, just to get it sold after it's been sitting for 6 months, I'm gonna just sell it for what it'll sell for. Stratego, be careful buying Stratego because it's often missing parts, and without all the parts, it's not really worth messing with, because like if you replace a part in this without it being exactly the same, like it's a hidden. Think like, if you've never played this, think like Guess Who. Like you're looking at the backside of pieces of plastic and trying to strategically figure out what's what in a battle scenario. And so if you have pieces that don't match exactly, it'll be pretty obvious that, well, that one that is a little yellowed or that one that's a little more faded is the one that last time we played was the spy or the flag or whatever. So so if this is missing pieces, it is not worth picking up. I got it for free, and it was all there, and it sold for $27. A buddy of mine was going to donate a bunch of really good stuff, including like a PS3, to Goodwill or a church yard sale. And he's like, I might as well give it to you because that's like helping support your business and support your family. And that happens sometimes, and I greatly appreciate it. I never expect anybody to do that, but people do. So it works out for me, and made $20 on that. This is Kane, Patrick Kane. I'm not a hockey fan, but I like Chicago sports. And I picked this up for $1.99 as an untagged plush. Sold for $12.99. plus shipping. I'll just slip him. I've got a big enough poly mailer for that. I'll just slip him in a poly mailer. It'll be super easy. This Princess Peach game, we picked up that on the last video, that DS that had all the games in it, and this Princess Peach game, we paid $10 for everything. The Princess Peach game, we sold, I listed for $35 and it sold immediately. Thought about keeping it, but I don't personally play the DS very much. I really like the DS as a console, but most of the time when I find my DSs, they're dead or missing parts because my sons don't take good care of them. So I don't play the DS much, and the boys didn't seem interested in it, and it's a little too advanced for Evelyn to play by herself. So I was like, I know I'll make my money back, especially given the issues that the 3DS has. I mean, I'll be able to sell it for 60, 80 at least. If I listed it for 50 bucks, broken with no description, it would sell in minutes. If I list it for 100 and say there's something wrong with the charger port, it'll sell in days. So I'm not worried about making money, but that was quick money for something that we have virtually nothing into. These came, I bought a camcorder, and these were in the camcorder, and I still haven't listed the camcorder, but these sold for $15. Blank media. You cannot ship sealed blank media on media mail. These have to go first class, because the point of media, it used to be called library rate. I think it's probably all going to completely go away when they revamp shipping in the next month or two. But you can't ship blank media because the point is that it's like they're shipping educational materials. And so blank isn't educational, even though it is considered, we call it blank media. It isn't media mail. Sold for 15 bucks, cost me like $3 to ship, and I paid $5 for the camcorder that I got that in, and the camcorder is why I bought it, not the accessories. I pulled this out of the box and sat it on the shelf beside the box and didn't bring it over here, and I'm like, oh no, where is that? This was listed forever for $9.99 plus shipping. Buyer sent me an offer for $6.50 plus shipping, and I took it. Vintage, like if it has colored edges on the pages, that generally implies that it's like 40s, 50s, maybe 60s, maybe 70s, but early 70s. Anyway, it's 50 years old. And vintage paperbacks, mysteries, those kind of things do fairly well. Phantom, I think this is like the Phantom character. It's also GGA, more PG-13. Eric's going to be so disappointed with me. But the Dancing Doll Murders, Good Girl Art is collectible. So these are, if you find, like if you're going through books and you find paperbacks, especially in lots, but with these colored edges, and they're this scale, just like dime store paperbacks tend to do fairly well. They don't sell fast, but they sell for, you can pick them up for a dime, 25 cents, and then sell them for 10 bucks. This is Jasper, Alberta, Canada, and has mountains and an eagle, but it's not a bald eagle because it's got a brown head. A golden eagle, assumably. $13.50. I've had this forever. I think that I got it on Whatnot, maybe? I don't know. Doesn't make a lot of difference. I went back and forth, rounds and rounds and rounds with this guy. He sent me this. I had this listed for $25 and free shipping, and he sent me a $10 offer, and I declined. And then he sent me a $12 offer, and I went $17.99, which is a huge discount. And then he sent me a $15 offer, and I declined. And then he sent me a $17.99 offer, and it sold. And he paid right away. So I just held out because at 20, this is an expensive wrench. This is an 1 1/8 inch, and it's proto. So this is a, if you tried to buy this wrench new, you don't think you can buy it new anymore. But if you try to buy this quality of a wrench, even at like Lowe's or Menards, Home Depot, this would be a $40 wrench all by itself. Vintage ones go for 25 bucks. I have $1 into it, so I'm like, I might as well make that money, but I don't need to give it away either because it will sell. People need tools. So that's everything. Let's get it packaged and get some stuff listed. My sales have been declining some more because I've been focusing so heavy on the bathroom remodel, so I haven't really been listing anything. But that's got to change because my payout, like I said at the beginning of the video, my payout's half of what I was hoping for it to be this week. So, but I was doing half the work I was intending to do this week. So I got to get 20 listed today and my sales will go back up. And if you're listing 20 a day and you're listing stuff that has good sell-through rate, you should be okay. I know a lot of people are struggling to get sales, but and they're blaming it on the economy and blaming it on the algorithm. There are lots of buyers on eBay, so the formula still works, but maybe the market's shifting. Maybe people have they're spending too much money on gas and groceries, and so they don't have money to buy t-shirts, but they do have money to buy wrenches. They don't, a lot of this stuff is collectible stuff that you don't need, but it's better collectible stuff. It's a game that would have been $35. Paperboy would have been $30 a year ago. Now it's $22. And the shirts were $10, not $14.99. I am trying to make money where I can, but make sure that things are worth buying. And some of this stuff is stale inventory, but you can't buy totally mediocre stuff and expect it to move the needle. You can't price stuff at the top of the market and expect it to move quickly. Just keep listing quality material that is has a good sell-through rate and is priced, I would say, very competitively. I price stuff like, what's the lowest somebody can buy this for? Is that one as good as mine? No? Okay, well then I'll price mine up a little bit. Is it better than mine? Then I'll price mine under that one. Is it the same as mine? I'll come in right under that one. So the solds matter, but the person who is buying yours isn't looking at the sold. They're not like, oh, well, this has a history of selling for $35, so I must expect to pay $35. Now, a really, really savvy person might like, well, this seems to regularly sell for $35. So if that one's 24, maybe there's something wrong with it, and so I don't want to buy. But you guys know most buyers on eBay don't even look at the second picture or the description at all, let alone research solds. So I go by the solds, figure out what your item is worth, but you also need to look at what is selling, what the current market has available. And if somebody's way below the market and you don't want to go that low, come in below the second one and let that person sell. I have heard when things were really, really hopping a couple of years ago, people were like, oh, there's 40 of these listed at $40, and then there's 2 people who have them listed for $27. I want to list mine at $40. I'm gonna buy those 2 at $27, list all 3 of mine at $40, and we'll move the whole bottom of the market up. I think that's really flawed logic, unless you just have money to throw away. But you could come in close to the bottom of the market and let that one sell first if something's got a really hopping sell-through rate, and you're like, well, it seems to sell, it sells through in 90 days, and there's 2 selling a day, so these 2 bottom ones are going to be out of the way this week, and mine will sell after that, and I don't mind waiting 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, there's a lot of thinking that goes into selling and understanding the market and understanding in a big picture general way what an item is worth today instead of what it was worth 90 days ago, a year ago on Terapeak. There's a lot of factors. Anyway, I'm going to get this stuff packed so that I can give it to the mail lady and we can get it to the customers. Thanks for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, all the things that you do. We'll see you on the next one.